without your hard work in setting up this conference would not have been possible. This conference comes in a good moment for our network. Our network is growing. We have new and enthusiastic members. Many of them are here in these days. We have a strong and motivated group of professionals in our office. The number of projects are rising. But unfortunately, it's not a very good moment for our world, is it? So the name, Against the Tide. The tide is a natural phenomenon which is predictable. It has its periods. It's influenced by the moon. And also political happenings sometimes have some regularity, some period. And actually, this specific moment has striking and worrying similarities to the period between the two world wars last century. We've had the great economic crisis in 2008, like the Great Depression of 1929. We've had the pandemic, like the Spanish flu in 1917. We have mass communication system developing and evolving fast and having a huge impact in the forming of opinion, of public opinion. We have the crisis of international institution and the rising of nationalistic movements. So when we say that we go against the tide, we should keep this in mind and try to resist this political tidal wave that is menacing to invest us. And another similarity is that through all these crises, the working class and the middle class have been struck heavily, while the 1% who owns the world actually became richer. And the other similarity is that in this specific moment, there are a rise of political movements who try to convince the marginalized voices, the minority groups, but also the majority groups, that the fault for all this crisis that we are going through is not of the 1% who's profiting from them, but of some other marginalized group. So when we try to give voice to the marginalized groups, we should keep in mind that for many of the people outside our bubble, these marginalized voices are not the victims, are not meant to be the beneficiaries of our efforts, but are the culprit of the crisis. And if we really want to empower the marginalized voice, we should try to find ways in which they talk to each other, they unite, and they also talk with the majority that have another opinion on them. We have to somehow find a way to get out of our bubbles. So since there are differences in the present moment, we have much more crises than in the past. We have multiple environmental crises, climate, biodiversity, plastic, air pollution. And also we have much more power in terms of this possible destruction. It's very urgent than when we address this topic. We keep in mind we have a duty as cultural operators to work to maintain peace inside our society and among our nations. And unfortunately, to make peace, you have to make peace with your enemies, in a way. So we have to be able to include marginalized voices, but also talk to the people who wouldn't like to include them. This is a tough task, but I think it's the task that we have to address, and I hope that we'll be inspired in these days to find ways to fulfill this task. And I would like to quote great Greek poet, Yannis Ritsos, who said that we, my brother, we don't make poetry in order to distinguish ourselves from the world. We make poetry in order to unite the world.